Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is the only Bible study on the interweb that is tariff and duty-free. So I hope you'll come in here and get all you want, because we have lots here in the Bible Bistro, that is. We have Daily Dose Radio, we have the School of Wisdom podcast, and we have the Creek Road Baptist Pulpit, all of which is free to you, and I hope you'll avail yourself of those. The Pulpit series uploads on Wednesdays, the Proverbs series uploads on Thursdays, and then, of course, Daily Dose Radio is every day, Monday through Friday, studying the Psalms verse by verse. This week, we're looking at Psalm 99. Psalm 99 is beautifully constructed. Again, we have an orphanic psalm. We have no name given to us about who wrote it. It's just, and it doesn't even tell us anything about the psalm. You know, last week we had a psalm. That was helpful. But this week, nothing. So again, we're in the orphanage here. No names given. This psalm is divided into 3 parts. These parts are marked. They end with the same phrase, He is holy. Verse 3, verse 5, and verse 9. You'll notice in verse 3 it ends with, for he is, or for it is holy. I think I'd rather translate that, for he is holy. Verse 5 ends with, for he is holy. And then verse 9 ends the whole psalm with, for the Lord our God is holy. So this is about the holy God. Arthur Weiser suggests, and I think he's right, that this could be an antiphonal piece, either meant to be sung or spoken, so sort of like a call and response, responsive reading, or an antiphonal hymn. And you have either a choir or the congregation singing or speaking the language of the psalm, and then you have the leader or someone on the outside, or maybe a group of someone's on the outside, saying the repeated phrase. So they would sing verses 1 and 2 and first part of verse 3, and then the leader or someone else or another group would say, for he is holy. And then they would sing 4 and the first part of 5, and then someone or another group would sing, for he is holy. And then they would sing 6, 7, 8, and the first part of 9, and then maybe all of them would join in and say, for the Lord our God is holy. So this is a worship piece, could still be used this way today. This could be taken to the worship setting and used in exactly the same way in a Christian church or a Jewish synagogue. Either way, this would work. And so I would suggest if you're needing some new worship music at your church, here's a good one for you. The Lord our God is holy. Well, you can't get any better than that. I'm just going to look at verse 1 today. Verse 1 says, the Lord reigneth. Let the people tremble. He sitteth between the cherubims. Let the earth be moved. Of course, we know the cherubims. That's the top of the ark, the mercy seat. So the Lord's reigning, and how do we know he's reigning? Because he's sitting between the cherubims. And why are the people trembling? Because the Lord reigns, and he's seated between the cherubims. Why is the earth moved? Because he's seated between the cherubims, and he reigns. The Lord reigns as king. This is a theme that we've had how many times now? Over and over and over in this orphanic section. The idea of the Lord as king continues to be repeated. It's one of those connecting themes, as I've suggested before. We continue to see it throughout the Psalms. Here it is again. And so this idea that the Lord reigns, and I would like to apologize. I should have mentioned this long before now. But if you want a really good study on the Lord reigning and his sovereignty over all peoples, you should read the book of Daniel, because in Daniel, the sovereignty of God is executed, and we see it over and over again there. That's a great study to understand the sovereignty of God. All right, well, we'll pick up with verses 2 and 3 tomorrow, so I hope you'll join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.